felt like you've lost yourself after you moved abroad, that you don't have an identity, you feel invisible? This often happens because you're navigating a new country, a new culture, a new language. But today, I'm going to show you that from that loss can actually come opportunities and the discovery and clarity of what is your competitive advantage. What are the things that make you unique? My name is Naina Kaputi. I'm the founder and CEO of the Expat Woman and also a LinkedIn coach. I'm originally from India and now live in the San Francisco Bay Area. So today I will cover what is a superpower, why you need to find your superpower when you live abroad, and how to find your superpower. So there are many names besides superpower. I've read about it being called the zone of genius. It was coined by an author called Gay Hendricks, and he talks about it being your unique skills, your unique strengths that set you apart from everyone else. We're all born with something that makes us unique. And once you uncover those unique skills, what you're really good at, and you put that to work, when you work in that area of expertise or strength of your superpower, work doesn't feel like work. You're not looking at your watch every couple of minutes or every hour to see if your work is done. You love it. You wake up excited every morning. You enjoy what you do. In fact, sometimes it's hard to drag yourself away from that work. And I have to say, I discovered my superpower after I moved to the US. It's been a journey. I didn't discover it immediately, but all the challenges and hurdles that I faced through that journey of navigating a new country led to me getting this clarity, those aha moments, and then finally stepping into my superpower. And when you move to another country, you're bringing not just your skills, but your experiences, your culture with you, and that can enhance your superpower. Instead of thinking of your accent, your cultural background, or even your career and your professional experience from another country as a hindrance, it can actually add to your value and make you stand out and give you that competitive advantage over other people. So look at it with that positive twist. Don't see any of those things as deterrents. Don't think having an accent, sounding different, looking different, having totally different experiences from your country of origin, or maybe you're multicultural, you've lived in many different countries and you've brought those various experiences along with you, and those should not be seen in a negative light, but actually they help you get clarity and the joy of discovering what you want to do, and that leads to what you want to be known for and what you want other people to think about you when you're not in the room. What do they think about you? Not just your personality, but what is that skill that comes to their mind when they think about you. Start by asking yourself, what has this move taught me? Has it taught me resilience? Maybe it's adaptability. Maybe it's a person who's always finding a solution, even in a city where you don't speak the language. Those are also true. As expats, we've stepped out of our comfort zone and we've moved to a new country, and then we have to adapt, because if we don't adapt, we're not going to really do well in that country. If we don't try to figure out solutions to all the challenges that we face, then again we're going to get stuck. And of course we have to be resilient. It forces us to be resilient, pick ourselves up every time we have a failure, every time things don't work out, every time something is so different that it's going to take you a while to fix it, to figure it out. You just bounce back and you move on. So coming back to what is the superpowers, sometimes we overlook our gifts because they come so naturally to us. So think about what people say about you. They might say you're a great organizer, you are very good at public speaking, you're so good at organizing events, you make people feel really welcome, you're a great connector. Those are examples of a superpower. So why is it so important to discover your superpower when you move abroad? As I said earlier, when you move abroad, you feel like you've lost your identity. You may not have a job. people don't know who you are. Maybe back in your country, you walked into a room and everyone knew who you are. Maybe you were a leader in your field. You were this trailblazing entrepreneur, and suddenly you come here, you have to start from scratch. You have to get people to learn what you do and how you do, and you don't know how to do it. And sometimes maybe what you did back in your country, you just did because you followed a certain path. Like in my case, I graduated from high school, then I went to college, then I went to university. My dad wanted me to be a doctor or an engineer, and I didn't want to do either of those, so I did science. I did my master's in science, and then for a little bit, then came to the US to study film because I wanted to do something creative. I was tired of being in the field of science and biotech, etc. And that journey to what I'm doing today took many years, but every time it felt like I was peeling an onion and discovering something new under those layers. So the other thing I want to tell you, when you're thinking about your superpower, you need to have patience. And why is it so important? For me, it was really important because I knew when I moved to the US, I didn't want to continue in the same field that I was working in back in India. And that's why I moved to the US. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to study film. I wanted to be creative. And once I discovered what was my superpower, and I'll reveal it in a little bit, I started getting so much joy from my life abroad, from the work I was doing. I woke up feeling energized, happy. I still do. And that's why it's so important, because initially when I moved to the US, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I studied film. Then I felt after I had gone through the film program that I didn't want to work full time in that field. I didn't enjoy the experience as much. I like the creative side of it, but working with cameras, lights, sound, working up early in the morning to work on film shoots, all the stress was really not for me. So I had kept searching. I was desperate to find a job, so I got a job. My first job was at an after school program because I knew the woman running that program. So I was working with kids. I hated it. I love kids, but I don't have the patience to work with them. And I was so frustrated. Then I worked for a couple of nonprofits. Those were good. But I realized I also did not like working for someone. And I'd never thought about entrepreneurship before I moved to the US. So even after I came to the US, the first few years, I never thought about running my own business. It would have been too scary a thought. I was always so used to getting that monthly paycheck, having someone else take care of all the stuff, and all I had to do was do my job. But I got that aha moment, and it really came from the challenges and hurdles I faced, because I had such a hard time navigating the US, building a network, making friends, finding a job, navigating the workforce, figuring out what was right, what was not. So many challenges, both personally and professionally. And when I was looking for an organization or group of people who had similar backgrounds to me, they had moved here from another country, they were professional expat women trying to navigate life in the US, I couldn't find any groups. And that's what led me to found the Expat Woman. And that I realized was my superpower. It was empowering, inspiring, educating, encouraging other professional women who had moved abroad to step out of their comfort zones, discover and get clarity on what their superpower is or was, and once they find it or found it, to then learn how to build their visibility, showcase it to the world, and open the doors to new opportunities. That's exactly what I did. And now, through the Expat Woman membership, I'll share the link in the description, through my events, through these YouTube videos, through my workshops and webinars, I use my superpower to create impact, influence, and of course also income. So that's my journey to discovering my superpower, and that's why it's important you find yours, because if you don't, then you get stuck in a job that you don't like in the country you move to. You're already trying to figure out the country, then you hate your job, and you don't really feel you are being authentic to yourself. You are being true to yourself. Something's nagging you. And sometimes we need to find jobs because We've got to support ourselves, our family. We have expenses, or we sometimes need to send money back to our home country to support our family there. So it's not always easy, but when you have the time and you can lean into your superpower, or you're in a job that you're unhappy with, and you can, or maybe make it a side hustle, trying to figure out what your superpower is, you can, with your superpower, create an income that you can live off. Because if you're really good at what you do, if because it comes so naturally to you, people are going to notice you. You are going to see results. It could be at a company, or it could be your own business or a side hustle. Like, people have discovered their superpowers at companies. Maybe they worked in the software department and then they realize, oh, I'm actually a people's person. I prefer being in an employee resource group, running an employee resource group, or being in a community builder, maybe hosting events for the organization. I mean, a lot of companies have so many different departments and so many different roles. So people are sometimes able to pivot once they discover their superpower, and they do beautifully and are very successful. And the same thing if you're looking to start a business, be a freelancer, a coach, service provider, whatever the name is. You want to be a digital nomad and live anywhere in the world. Finding your superpower and then leaning into it and showcasing it to the world is so important. So that's why it's important to find it. So how can you find your superpower? So I mentioned earlier about, what people say about you. Like, they tell you, oh wow, you're such a great connector, you're always bringing people together. So maybe that's your superpower, you're a great connector. So then how can you use that superpower to create a business or to find the right job? Think about that. Or you are amazing at organizing your house, like everything is so organized, and people come over and they say, wow, I don't see any papers lying around, it's so neat. Your kitchen is so organized. Maybe that's what you need to look into. Can I become a professional organizer? Or you're great at hosting parties and events. People just love your party. It's just so exciting and fun. Maybe you can be an event organizer. I'm just giving you a few examples. I hope this will kind of get you thinking about what your superpower is. So think about what people say about you. Or if they haven't, then ask them, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think I talk a lot about? Ask your friends, ask your family. They might help you discover that. Also think about podcasts you listen to, books you read, videos you watch, things that excite you. You could use your journal and make a list of things. Maybe you start with things you don't like doing. For instance, I don't like anything to do with accounting, finance. Even organizing is really hard for me. So I know those are things I don't like doing, and then I can list the things that I enjoy, that I love doing, and then you get more clearer. And remember, it's a journey. It might not happen overnight, but at least you list what you enjoy doing, what you don't like doing, what you're really good at. And again, there's a difference between what you're good at and what comes naturally to you. I wake up so excited to take on the day. Maybe I'm hosting a virtual meetup with my members of the Expat Women membership, or I'm hosting a global virtual networking event for the Expat Women larger community, or I'm doing YouTube videos, I'm doing a live stream, or this YouTube video. I'm just excited about doing it all because my focus is all on what value can I add and how can I empower the women who I am reaching through my videos, through my events, through my meetups, whether in person or virtual. How can I create impact? How can I inspire them? How can I share my knowledge, my skills? So when you use your superpower, it's amazing. It just makes you happy. And of course, there are times when there'll be challenges. Things might not work out the way you'd like them to, but life's a journey. Finding your superpower is a marathon, not a sprint, so keep that in mind. If you enjoyed watching this video, before I share a little bit more, hit the subscribe button, like, leave a comment, let me know what is your superpower. So just like you stepped out of your comfort zone and you moved to a new country, when you step out of your comfort zone and do new things, your powers will emerge. So you can't just be sitting in the room and hoping you'll discover your superpower. You sometimes need to go on that journey. You need to try out things. Like I did film, I worked for a non-profit, I did a lot of volunteer work, I did make a documentary film and some short films. And then, of course, I founded the Expat Woman. So you need to start doing things. You need to start saying yes to opportunities, even if they seem scary. Maybe someone invites you to speak at an event, or maybe you sign up to do a course, or you volunteer for something. Someone wants to meet up for coffee to talk to you. All these saying yes to new opportunities, they could be very simple, they could be complex, will help you get more clarity on what you like doing and what you don't like doing. So don't ignore those opportunities. Say yes to them. Now, if something just doesn't feel like it's of interest to you, obviously you want to say no. There's certain things that I just don't enjoy doing. So if someone invited me to do that, or there's a course on that topic, obviously I won't do it. So also be strategic. Don't just say yes to everything. So like the Nike slogan, just do it. Just go for it. And don't worry about failure and about making a fool of yourself, etc. I do have another video on imposter syndrome. I will share a link in the description so you can watch that video as well. So your superpower isn't something you left at home. It's something you're becoming. So keep that in mind. Keep an open mind. Be adaptable. Be flexible. Be open. Say yes to new things. Take action. And be patient, because it won't happen overnight. Remember, you are more powerful than you know. Global life is the perfect place to let that power shine. So if you know what your superpower is, do share it in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe